Hello there, Ian here, and I very much hope that this message catches you well. Happy, healthy and strong. As we approach 2020, I thought I'd share one last idea with you. And if you've made your plans for the new calendar year, great. If you have not, also great. But I'd like you to maybe consider, or I encourage you to maybe consider this one last idea. And if you haven't done so already, I'd encourage you to take an hour or two and reflect. Reflect on the year that we've just had. Reflect on the past 12 months. And really ask a couple of questions. Now, I'm well noted for saying that we don't want to dwell in the past. We don't want to dwell on some mistakes that we may have made. But what I encourage everyone to do is to look back and learn the lessons from the past and bring that into the future. It's remarkable, really, at the highest levels of government and industry and banking, the mistakes that we make repeatedly, how often history seems to repeat itself with errors of judgment and countries' relationships with each other, and how often history seems to be repeating itself. So no, we don't want to dwell in the past, but we want to learn the lessons and bring them into the future. So consider these. Who have you helped, professionally or personally, inside or outside the business? If it's somebody outside your company that you've helped personally, then how did you help that person? What did you do? What difference did you make in their life? Would you want to do more of that? If it's someone internally, inside the business, what difference did you make to their life? How could you do more of that? And by the way, business only exists to change lives and make them a bit easier. So in the company, which customer's life did you make better? Which customer is in a better position because you were there? So these things, what did you do that really worked well? Who did you help and how did they benefit, either at a company level, at a customer level, or a supplier level, or on an individual level? Then look at the things that did not go well. Yeah, what mistakes did you make? What did you try that did not work? What did you invest that maybe did not pay off? And what lessons can be learned on how to do things differently in the future? Let's not make the same mistakes again. Yeah, what did we do that we can improve upon in the next 12 months? So, and lastly, ask yourself this. If I was not here, or if my company did not exist, or was not around over the last 12 months, who would have noticed? If we did not exist, but nobody would really have missed us, then that's a lesson to take into the new year. Because if nobody missed you, then you weren't really making a difference. So be clear and spend an hour or two really thinking about those questions, or I encourage you to spend an hour or two and think about those questions, and then bring those lessons into the new year as part of your new plan or as part of an existing plan that you've already made. I encourage you to take an hour or two. Now, depending on how you spend the festivals that close the calendar year, that will depend on when you spend the time, depends on how you finish the year. For me personally, I like the time between Christmas and the New Year, between the 25th of December and the 1st of January. That time, things seem to be quite quiet, and I found it a nice time to take stock and do a bit of reflection and make my personal plan for the next 12 months. So if that works for you, take the time then. If there's a better time, then use that. But I encourage you to try the exercise. So however you plan the next phase of your business, whether it's the calendar year or some other marker, I hope that the change from 2019 to 2020 is a positive, healthy and happy one. And I hope that the year 2020 brings all that you wish for. I wish you well.